We've had the European men's transfer window, we've had the Saudi transfer deadline, the Turkish transfer deadline, and now the WSL transfer deadline is just over, 6 hours away, tick-tock. And it looks as though Arsenal might have to admit defeat in their attempts to sign Keira Walsh from Barcelona. Now, that is because the England midfielder reportedly didn't want to extend her contract, which expires at the end of the season at Barcelona. So the Sharks sensed a bit of blood in the water. Let's speak to podcaster Lucy Casey, who follows Arsenal women in particular very closely. It looks like Keira Walsh might not be making that move. If that is to be the case, how would you rate Arsenal's transfer business?
I think the transfer window has been pretty impressive for Arsenal as a whole. I mean, we've got Kafarjian, we've got Dom Salah, and I'm really impressed with Caldenti as well. But we've noticed that obviously Caldenti has come from a free as well from Barcelona. And if Walsh doesn't go through, I'm impressed with the window, but she would just complete it. And I know many other Gooners are really rooting for that to happen. But obviously time's running out, so we'll have to wait and see. It
certainly is. So the situation with Keira Walsh is that she's entering the final year of her contract at Barcelona. She signed for, I think, £400,000, which at the time was a world record for a women's transfer. And if Barcelona don't sell her now, then the chances are she could leave for a free transfer at the end of the season. It shows the quality of Keira Walsh, and we've got some stats here, that Barcelona are prepared to take that risk.
It does. It shows, obviously, if you look at even goals and assists, I mean, her position, she's quite deep in midfield, so you wouldn't really expect that from her. But her ability and everything, you understand why Barcelona, they really want her to stay. But I think for her to go on a free, it is almost insulting because she is a player of such a high ability. You see with the Lionesses under Wiegman when they won the Euros, she was such a core player with them, playing almost multiple positions in one, so I think for her to go for a free would be pretty shocking.
Yeah, and we understand she wants to return to England for personal reasons. We don't know what they are, but maybe she's just a bit homesick, wants to come home. Let's focus on Arsenal a little bit more, because Arsenal lost one of their key players, a star player in not just their club, but the full WSL, in Vivianne Miedema, when she went to Manchester City. And she's coming back pretty soon. First weekend of the season, is that right?
Yes, first week of the season, home game again at the Emirates. And I'm hoping she'll get a warm response, a warm reception, because no one wanted her to leave. It was almost the same when Jordan Nobbs left a couple of years ago. She returned back to the Emirates and everyone was applauding her. But she's a player I do not want to be playing against if I was any of the defenders at Arsenal. So I'm a bit apprehensive about that move.
Yeah, top scorer in the history of the WSL. Chances are, against an old rival, she's going to fancy trying to score against her former employer. All smiles when she was unveiled as a Manchester City player. Let's finish, though, by focusing on Arsenal's men. We've been building up to it throughout our show on Total Football all afternoon. They play Tottenham away this Sunday. It's always a thrilling fixture to watch. But Arsenal going into it definitely without Declan Rice, he's suspended, and potentially without Martin Odegaard, who looks like he's carrying this injury.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty shocking turn of events. As an Arsenal fan, I was pretty set on this season, knowing that we'll have a solid midfield three at least. And now we've got questions, is Havertz going to drop back in, even though we've seen from the history that that doesn't work? Or is Trossard going to drop in? Partey, is he going to be there with Jorginho? It's all a bit mixed match right now, but I have a lot of faith in the boys. I'm hoping they'll be able to do it. But obviously they're coming up against the likes of Solanke and Son and Maddison, which are big names, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, big names on their patch. Can you give us a score prediction?
Oh, I don't want to go too overconfident, so I'm going to say a 2-1 win.
2-1 win, even without Rice, even potentially without Martin
100%,
Odegaard.
got to back them.
Lucy, thanks for joining us on Total Football.
Thank you.
OK, so WS action coming up next weekend, as we've just touched on, Arsenal against Manchester City, and it's live on Sky Sports Mix from 11:30.